It's been a while, at least 36 hours, since the Democrats used the race card, but right on time, they're whipping it out. Let's talk about it. Hello, everyone. This is Keith. Welcome to the Ghetto Sapien channel, your home of inner city intelligence. So, what started this whole thing was the chaos that's going on in in Congress right now. Them trying to pick the leader, the speaker of Congress. So that's been going on about 3 days now. I think they're probably up to their 15th vote trying to get Kevin McCarthy in. He just doesn't have the 218 to make it. And look, I think what we're seeing is we should see this all the time, that there's a real debate going on before an election, that real thoughts going into it. And look, politics is a blood sport, and they look like they're going to bloody Kevin McCarthy up quite a bit before, and I think he'll eventually get in. Before he gets in, give him something to think about. Because when you just see parties like, when you can get 200 people, two and a half hundred people to agree on something in like minutes, that doesn't sound like a republic. It doesn't sound like thought has been going into those decisions. So this mess we're seeing is basically how it should work. This is how government should work. It's supposed to be deliberate, slow, and messy. So what we're seeing should be more normal. Anyway, so as a result of this sideshow, some people, instead of voting for McCarthy, voted for a young man by the name of Byron Donalds. He's a representative in Florida, young guy, smart, quick on his feet. I've seen him debate people on CNN. He has a mastery of the facts, and I think there's a future for him in Congress and in the Republican Party, period. So he got about 20 votes, just not much, but just enough to thwart, more than enough to thwart Kevin McCarthy for now. What got people's attention is the fact that Representative Donalds is black. He's a young black guy who's getting some much needed attention. I think he's overdue, and this is scaring the living crap out of the Democrat Party because they think they have a lock on black voters. They know that they've been recently, and I think it's since Trump's gotten office, was elected, they're starting to bleed black men in particular. And Donald's being a black man is a threat to the Democrat Party because they gotta hold on every black vote they can. And with Donald's there, he's going to make it harder. So they send out Representative Cori Bush of Missouri, District 1. And she more or less called him a token. Like, he's not really all that bright. He's being picked for his skin, which is quite ironic considering the Democrat Party and how you got, I don't know, like Biden outright saying, I'm going to pick the VP, or I'm going to pick the Supreme Court justice solely, or at least primarily, because of their skin color and their ovary count. So that's picking by skin color. I mean, that's exactly what this chick is. Well, sorry, what Representative Bush is saying about the Republican Party. That's exactly what the Democrats have been doing and announcing it. Like I said, what better way to diminish your intelligence, your education, and your accomplishments by saying the only reason why I'm picking you is because you got an XX chromosome and you're black or whatever color. It just diminishes everything you do. And again, this is what the Democrats do all the time, and no one ever calls them out on it until now. But I'm going to let Mr. Donald speak for himself. This is a brief video I picked up on Fox News.
But I've got one more item for you to deal with, if you will.
Sure.
Your Democrat colleague, Cori Bush, attacked you online. In a tweet, she calls you a prop for upholding white supremacy. I'd like you to take this opportunity to respond to that, sir.
Well, I mean, first of all, I thought it was just blatantly outrageous. First, man, that sucked, man. To be honest with you, man, I'm sorry. I feel, bad that she really put that out there because, if you see a black man rising, I mean, let the man rise. We even
They can't do that in the Democrat Party. They can't even let black men rise in the Democrat Party, let alone the Republican Party. So they got to put a stop to it. I could see and feel this man's frustration because it does piss you off. You put in all the hard work. You're working, is hard. You're learning the facts. You're learning about your job and doing a good job representing your state. And you have someone just points out that you're really nothing. The other side is using you just because your skin color with no evidence whatsoever. And again, like I pointed out, Democrats they blatantly say they put skin color and now they've added sexual preference or gender up at the top of the qualifications. They almost never mention whether you're intelligent, you're qualified, you have any skills. It's all these immutable, well, some of them. It's all these things that are surface level issues. That is most important for them. And then they accuse the other side of doing it. It doesn't get more ironic or hypocritical than that.
if you don't agree with them, specifically to my policies, I would argue that she should sit down and debate me one-on-one.
She can't debate you. No Democrat can have an honest debate with, I'd say, libertarian or real conservative. Reason being, because the Democrats have a track record. I'm from a neighborhood that was dominated by Democrats for decades. And there's poverty, it's still going on. Poverty, crime, drugs, low income housing, things like that. And that's their fault. They're the ones in control. So when you got that kind of a track record, you can't debate someone who has a track record of success. People are moving from blue cities to red states for a reason. People are voting with their feet. You can say one thing, but your feet and your dollars are going to give you away. You could vote one way in the voting booth, but again, your feet are going to give you away because you're going to go where the situation environment's better for you economically. That's that. And that's why the Democrats can't debate. That's why they run from debate. You've noticed this last election cycle, they didn't even bother with debate because they're just going to say, look, we're just going to plaster the countryside with mail-in ballots. We're going to collect all the ballots, shove them into the box, and no one cares what we got to say. No one cares about a track record. We're getting ballots from people who aren't really paying attention. That's our stock and trade. So who needs a debate?
And let's do that, Stu. We could do it on your program. We could do it on CNN. We could do it on MSNBC. I'm open to all of that. But to throw a statement out there, I thought was just the complete wrong thing to do. As a black man to a black woman, I would have never done that to her. It's a shame that she did it to me.
It was an insult.
Yeah, like I said, you could see the man's frustration. Cori Bush, again, Missouri District 1, if this guy is supposed to be a threat, or at least he's not doing well for his district, let's see how she's doing let's see how Cori Bush is doing for her people in her district. She, again, District 1, Missouri. Let's just go right to the heart of it. I need my glasses. I'm getting old. So specifically, her neighborhood, of course, her district is primarily black. Even in Missouri, she found a whole bunch of black people to get the vote for her. But let's see, something that's specific to her neighborhood. I'm trying to look for the economics. Okay, so property, it's lower than average. But most people are homeowners, which is pretty good by a slim margin. See, rent versus own, it's not bad. Household income, it's below average. As you can see here, there's much more in the orange. She has much more of a population that is represented under 10,000 and less of household income. So they're not doing too well in her district. It says the largest share of households have an income of less than $10,000. Yeah, that is not that good. So I don't know what she's doing for her district. And poverty is also through the roof compared to the national average, especially for black people. Much higher than the national average, male and female. Specifically, this is the largest demographic living in poverty. This is in her district, are females 25 to 34, followed by females 18 to 24, followed by females 45 to 54. So basically, if you live in her district, if you're a black and you're a female living in Cori Bush's district, you're doing worse than the national average. So who is the threat to the community? I'd say Cori Bush and her leftist policies. But this whole race thing is just a distraction from the facts that the Democrats don't want to face. But I'm going to leave you with this. I think tides are turning. I think people are starting to be unafraid to call out racism when they see it, no matter who.
Madam Clerk, I rise to place in nomination the name of Byron Donalds of Florida. Last night, I sat within feet of Mr. Donalds as the tweet of another member-elect appeared on the screen. That member-elect wrote and sent out to America that Byron Donalds is a prop. I've spent a good bit of time with Mr. Donalds, especially lately. He ain't no prop. This is the tired, old, grotesquely racist rhetoric that we've seen far too long.
Exactly. That is how you handle it. You don't run when someone says the word, calls you a racist or whatever. You confront them directly. You call them racist back, whatever. But we just got to take the power away from this word and stop cowering in fear. I think how Representative Bishop handled it was great. He handled it head on. And I hope he is like, I hope he's the template for how everyone handles that overused term nowadays. I'll end it with that. I wish Mr. Donalds the best. I think there's a future for him in the party. And I'm sorry they played the race card against him, but it don't mean nothing. So, that's my comment. Like, share, comment, and subscribe.